I was in my 11th class, intermediate. This part of the country, we call it intermediate education, and I was in my 11th class, and I was studying in a reasonably good college those days. RGUKT Nagarjuna. I don't know how many of you have heard that. Anybody from that college? Oh, at least you have known that college. So midway, there was this debate competition that started. So we were to sign up, enroll your name for debate competition. And that debate competition was in Hindi. Hindi was not my first language. Hindi was not my second language. But I wanted to sign up for the debate. So I gave my name. And the D-Day has come. On the day of the debate has started. And I have seen the list of names in the debate. It included my senior students, students from other colleges, and various stalwarts. Now all these people who have joined gave me some kind of, insecure feeling to me, and I told the organizers that I'll withdraw from this debate competition. Today also, after looking at this stellar panel of 4 government officials in the inaugural, I kind of similarly felt that I should withdraw from being in the same panel. What happened to the debate, I'll tell you a little later. I participated because the organizers told me you cannot pull out midway. But I'll tell you what happened to that competition a little later. Good morning to all of you and welcome to Hyderabad. ICFAI welcomes all of you to Hyderabad. Those partners of ObserveNow who have managed to associate with this event, who have come from outside of Hyderabad, welcome to you. And to those who are from within Hyderabad, welcome to you as well. I've been noticing that ObserveNow has been making good strides in the last few years. But the moment they said it is 7th edition of their ELCA, then I wondered, where did I miss so many events? So 7 is in 7 years, but I quickly corrected that it is not actually 7 years, it's about 3 years or in between 3 to 4 years. Either you are growing very fast or I am growing too old. One of it has to be right. I hope the first one is. So Tanya, when she asked me to speak in the inaugural, I wondered what do we speak about these things. But the theme is about embracing technology to empower students. I think empowering students has been an overriding theme for any educator. And at ICFAI, we have been embracing technology in our own way. To mention, we are in the 4th decade. We are completing 4 decades of education in higher education space in this country. We started in 1984. We started enrolling students in 1985. And by next year, it will be 4 decades formally. It's a milestone year for us as well. In the last 4 decades, we have had our own exposure, our own methods of embracing technology. I remember very distinctly, and my esteemed colleague, Dr. Prasad, during his session, he will also elaborate further, that we have had our own opportunities of embracing technology from those days of distance learning education where we wanted to share learning material through diskettes, through CDs, and courier those CDs apart from couriering the books so that the e-learning aspect was taken care of. Those were the primitive days. It looks like centuries ago, right? But it was just about in the first decade of our existence we did that. And then subsequently we moved forward, we have established many other verticals of education, and then we touched upon various aspects of reaching out to the student and empowering the student through our content, our learning material. ICFAI has always prided on developing very, very good content, very good learning material. We adopted technology later, but sometimes when we look at those who adopt technology, it's like the cookie cutter is made first and the cookies are made later. Of course, we are not in the business of cookie cutters. Education is very, very different, and as we have championed right from the beginning, the content, the learning material has been the mainstay, and that has helped many students build their careers over the last several years. So I'll talk about only two important aspects. There are many aspects of, embracing technology for our library, embracing technology for our summer internship program monitoring. It's an intense program where we embrace technology to do so. Our own attempts to embrace enterprise-wide software, our own attempt to embrace technology for engaging with students, engaging with prospective students, engaging with alumni, engaging with industry, has always been very, very interesting. But I'll talk about two very important opportunities in the last 1 decade that ICFAI has looked at. Number one, exactly around 10 years back, we built an in-house learning management system called QuickForce. And that learning management system has been built with a mission to achieve that in about, say, 100 days. So we have assembled large number of players, large number of team members. We put them in one of our buildings, and then we started building LMS for ourselves. And this was not compelled by any crisis, by the way. COVID happened very recently, but this happened long back. So the learning management system that we built was to create virtual participation of students beyond the in-class participation that they've had, class participation beyond the regular hours, social graph to interact and share, faculty members to partake as well as evaluate, and several alumni can go back at the concept level. Several alumni could go back and see what happened on a particular session over the years back. I think all these were built in with a mission to achieve it in 100 days, and that was one of the highest points of embracing technology that ICFAI has seen in the last 1 decade. That was the first one. And the second one recently we have, of course there are many, but I'm just naming the other one, is about building another learning management system for our online education. It's a fantastic opportunity that has come our way. The regulators have paved the way, in fact, and we wanted to apply for our online MBA program. It was architected and championed by Dr. R. Prasad, who is here. As I said, he will share more details about it. But that was another very important high. How do you keep in touch with your students, your faculty members and stakeholders and create learning value across all the touch points and build it very slowly, steadily and nicely and get the nod from the regulator, approver, and then move ahead and invite students? I think it has flown very well. It has flown very seamlessly. We've had our own challenges, but those partners who are here will understand how difficult it is. We have believed in working on homegrown systems. We have believed in working on knowledge that is applied for building tech products. As I said, those who have actually been in education will look at it very differently, and those who have been in tech, in training will look at technology in a very different way. I think education requires a different kind of perspective to develop technology that works for us and empowers students. I think online MBA program, LMS, and the entire module building over a couple of years has been a very, very important mission-oriented exercise for us, where we have embraced not just technology, but worked it out in terms of, reaching out to students, empowering them and making it work. And it is beautifully working right now. These are the two important aspects that I always remember in the last 10 years that we have worked on. Closing, I want to also mention that we have several universities in various parts of the country, and we have the room for experimentation in terms of trying any particular module and seeing whether it works for a particular university or not, and then we scale it up a little later. We have tried a few such experiments in our ICFAI University Tripura, and then we are working out in terms of how it results in effectiveness, productivity, efficiency, so on and so forth. and then we are planning to expand it and extend it to other units. We have about roughly 20 campuses. So we are trying to work on this, and we have a room to actually work on such modalities as a large educational group that we are. So it's a fantastic topic, and you are in the right place. And Hyderabad is also one of the major education hubs in this country, hubs of education, innovation and technology. This is the right topic in the right city. I welcome all of you for this 2-day conference, and I wish all of you have a great opportunity of learning, sharing your perspectives, and partnering and collaborating with everyone around. And I wish you all the best. Have a great time. Once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights with us. Now I'm going to be requesting Professor 𝐕∞ Vice Chancellor, Telangana Council of Higher Education and Vice Chancellor for RGUKT IIIT Basar to please address the gathering. Can we all please put our hands together?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. When she asked, how is the Josh, everybody said it's fine. I think we should all reverberate that. Thank you so much, Unstop, ObserveNow, all these education leaders here for making it possible to make it to Hyderabad. On the dais, I have my colleague and Chairman of the State Council of Higher Education, Professor Limbadri, Mr. Ankit Agarwal, and Mr. Sudhakar Rao, a good friend of ours. And across in the audience, I find a lot of educationists, leaders from Hyderabad and Telangana higher education ecosystem. I thought I'll speak at the last, but I have to follow my chairman's advice. He said, you speak on the area which you are focusing, and finally he will give a complete overview of the higher education in Telangana. First of all, thank you all of you for having acknowledged Telangana as a not just emerging hub, it is the education hub in the country. Let me assure you, it's only the beginning. In fact, we had just recently had a change of leadership, and the leadership of the day is keenly interested to promote education in a big way. I think some announcements will come shortly. I also want to make an announcement that in view of a very important meeting happening today in the government on establishment of some universities in Telangana by the government, which I will spell out in a little later, the secretaries are not able to come. And today there is a big examination in the state called the DSC. So I think if they find time, they will join us, but I think I can take a little more on that. So first of all, let me congratulate for this concept, or called the theme of the seminar, which is focusing on technology. I just don't want to talk about technology today. The reason being, all of you are completely aware of the benefits of this. But I want to talk to something called innovation and trying to innovate in the field of technology for the betterment of higher education. We have seen laptops, we have seen desktops, we have seen DVDs, we have got all that so-called software and the hardware part of it. But what I have found in the education sector and what we are trying to do in the government today is trying to innovate and trying to bring in this culture of innovation. How does it start? I was just walking through the exhibition today, and I really appreciate the technologies which are in display. And I have seen all of those technologies, and they have emerged from campuses. My focal theme today is going to be how do we innovate for getting better technology, easier technology, accessible technology, and also very low-cost technology. If you look at around the world, most of the innovations come from campuses. But as education leaders, we have never thought about it in a large way. We have always been doing firefighting. For example, I am the Vice Chancellor of a university, so my job is to maintain the university in a calm way and maintain the academics. But I have not seen many efforts, including in many universities, the efforts by the leadership to transform the ideas into technology. For example, students have many issues. I'm really happy that today some of the technologies which are present today, I was just telling my chairman that we should walk through this exhibition. The reason being, we as academic administrators, we may not have access or time to go through these technologies. But when you come to a place like this, I appreciate Ms. Tanya for having and Shivani for taking this initiative. We will be able to see the future of these technologies, and because of we being occupying some positions of influence in the academia, we can try to look at it. For example, the first thing I saw is that post-COVID, we have had many innovations, but still the innovation rate in the higher education space is less. We are still battling with issues of low faculty. We are still battling issues of coverage, networking, bandwidth, all so on and so forth. If you look at P&G, Procter & Gamble, they talk about a concept called more out of less. For example, we represent state universities. And in a state universities, as you are all aware, the funding is a crunch. You can go to ICFAI and you can also go to other universities. You will find the best of breed technologies being used. But the challenge is, like P&G, more out of less. How do I transform technology to give thousands of people? My colleague chairman will talk about the GER, etc., which I want to acknowledge Tanya ji for making that. Telangana is the state where almost 65 to, he will correct me in case I'm 65 to 70%. In the university where I am the Vice Chancellor now, just last week we announced our results, and you'll be amazed, out of 1,500, 900 students are going to be girl children. And look at this opportunity. Look at this opportunity. When we all studied, when we all started our careers, we found many males coming into the education system because education was private to very few people. And it was a taboo to send somebody to the higher education because of many reasons. Of course, being a very modern, cosmopolitan state like Telangana, we don't have anything. In fact, we encourage more girls to come in. So how do we look at this mass? How do we look at this critical mass? We have not looked at this for a long time, and I think it's time that we should look at it. So I have 3 points to make. 1, reverse technology. Start working from the user needs. 1, 2, low-cost technology, and 3, further innovate, and academicians and academic leaders have to put a lot of thought into it. I really congratulate all of you. Let's meet over the break time and then discuss how do we take it forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable suggestion. Now I'm going to be inviting Professor R. Limbadri, Chairman, Telangana Council of Higher Education. Can we all please put our hands together as he's going to address the gathering?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. We have respected dignitaries on the dais, Professor V. Venkatramana Garu, my colleague and Vice Chancellor of RGUKT, Professor Sudhakar, and Ankit Agarwal, and my another colleague, Professor Sriram Venkatesh, is also here, Secretary State Council of Higher Education, and directors, principals, vice chancellors of the respective universities and institutions are present here. First, I want to congratulate the organizers, particularly Sania, Shivani, and their team and partners for taking initiative in conducting Education Leaders of the 7th Conclave in this prestigious hall. This is the need of the hour to discuss about this type of themes to empower our students. We are all aware that the education institutions have a responsibility to shape, empower our students, particularly in the context of future education. Future education is an uncertainty one, a dynamic one. how best we can visualize, how best we can provide a best curriculum to empower our students in the context of future education and future needs of the society is concerned. The higher education appears to set for major challenges over the next 25 years. And all the students want to success. And all their parents, family members have trust, hope on the institutions to fulfill the expectations of their families and meet the goals of their children through our institutions. So the challenge of our institution is how best we can meet the expectations of the parents and meet the goals of our students is a big challenge, particularly in the context of this future education is concerned. Why the future education has become big challenge is the most speedy changes taking place in the technology. This year we are introducing one course, next year another course is demanding and students want that one. For example, if you look into the demands, my colleague Professor Venkatramanna said, and also Sonia also said that the gross enrollment ratio of women in Telangana highest in the country. Really, it's a great achievement for Telangana. Being a youngest state, it is achieved a good result in providing the quality education for the women. Not only for the women, even gross enrollment ratio of Telangana is 40%, whereas Government of India average gross enrollment ratio is 28.4. So this is the scenario of enrollment. Another thinking into this technology aspects, every year Telangana conduct the engineering and agriculture entrance test. Last 2 years, this year and last year, there is a high demand for that. This academic year, the engineering and agriculture entrance appeared students is 3,55,000. 3,55,000. The intermediate first phase passed students only 2,88,000. This shows the aspirations of the students want to pursue their studies through a technology, engineering or management or science and technology courses are concerned. So how best the aspirations of our youngest students to fulfill through our academic institutions is a big challenge. So this is the scenario we can understand the expectations of the thing. We have technologies more and accessibility. Accessibility, we are also good because of one of the criteria to having a good access is the gross enrollment ratio, and the government every year providing a best opportunity for the prospective students in establishment of good number of colleges, introduction of good number of courses, and making use of technology in their curriculum, etc., etc. So that's why the access is very excellent in terms of Telangana. Not only the educational institutions, they are providing best fees reimbursement for the students, and particularly the engineering colleges, we have a highest demand, and every year the government is enhancing the seats for the engineering prospective students fulfillment. This another important thing I want to mention here, that the technology adapting into the institutions, the uniqueness of the Telangana have degree admissions, we adopted those DOST, degree admissions of Telangana. through online. By paying up rupees 200, the student have access to all the 1000 degree colleges according to their choice, according to their preference, according to their merit. The student will get admitted in the respective colleges. Not only that, we are introducing this online evaluation in the respective universities also. And another interesting thing, the uniqueness of Telangana is student academic verification services. The student academic verification service, it is to prevent the fake certificates in the Telangana. No student can claim a fake certificate from Telangana because we have a very easy and friendly all-time verification system, that is student academic verification. So anytime from anywhere you can verify Sonia is passed BTech from so-and-so college, they can get it and you will get the information. Recently, the American Consulate General appreciated that they are verifying the Telangana visa applied students certificate only through TGCHE, Telangana Council of Higher Education websites. So that is the thing. So we are making use of the technology to providing the opportunity for the prospective students and employees of higher education or employers can verify very easily of these certificates are concerned. So keeping that into, the technology is adapting in all the sectors, including engineering and BA, BCom, BSc courses also. We are introducing the emerging area courses for them. And the challenge is, one is the technology, the second one is how best we can make them to adapt and resilience for the students. And how best we can provide engagement and counseling is a big challenge for the students. Even we are all talking about the critical thinking and problem solving issues, how best we can academically include in your curriculum, assess their performance about the critical thinking, assess abatement about their problem solving skills and making them to become very strong to survive in the society and institution. How best we are empowering them to become a great citizens of the country. With these few words, once again, I thank you and congratulate the organizers for taking this initiative and wish you all the best for the two-day conference.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your insight, experience and knowledge with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to call upon Mr. Ankit Agarwal, founder and CEO, Unstop. Please put your hands together as he's going to take a presentation for us.
Okay, awesome. Morning. As I stand here today, I feel a sense of pride, gratitude, as well as nostalgia. Hyderabad was the first city where I started my career with Deloitte. So I stayed here for about close to about 2 years. Then we have most of the students from ICFAI on Unstop. They use Unstop on a daily basis. And we've already partnered with the Department of IT at Telangana to impact each and every student in higher education at Telangana. Now, I'll keep it short. I'll stick to the timeline. I just wanted to make some points around the new shift. And this is very important for you to understand. The first thing is, we all talk about degrees, certificates, and other aspects. But everybody would have already read about something called as skills over degree. Skills should be evaluated rather than the education background. But according to me, and this is from the article that I read in Economic Times, all the stats that I'll showcase in a bit will be based on that. In blue collar jobs, the hiring has always been with respect to skills. right? We all agree. In white collar, now it is getting more prominent in terms of hiring only based on skills, and these are actually the three sectors or the roles that are leading the way when we say this, right? The other aspect is, and this I quote from Economic Times, 8,31,000, including all the startups, SMEs and all, are moving towards skill-based hiring. Massive, massive number, and this is pan-India number, right? By no means this is a small number. Still, all of them are not able to find jobs. In last 12 months, as per the data, 10 lakh candidates had been hired in India only based on the skills rather than their education backgrounds. And I'm just talking about the early talent. I'm not talking about experienced folks at this point in time, right? This is a massive number. And this is what should lead the way when we basically say, and just to point it out, and only for the last 4 years, again from the same article itself, if you basically see the BPO segment, right, in 1920, 60% of the hires were based on the education qualifications, BPO and other services industries. Within 2 years, that sort of increased to 70%, but those 70% were basically based on practical role skills. And now, 80% of the hires, at least in this segment, is predominantly through skill assessments. We say that IT is the biggest recruiter. If we say this for the IT segment as well, either services or products, is the same thing, right? 50% during 19 and 20, it was technical skills and problem solving. In 2021 and 2022, 65% were based on skills, competency assessments, and today, last year itself, 75% of the all hiring that was done was purely based on skills. But still, we have that gap. And mind you, if you are from the academic institution, these are the industries that you should be going after in terms of the companies who are now looking at diving into that debate and predominantly in the positive manner, skills over degrees. IT, manufacturing, media, fintech also, right? 70% of the leaders that we have interacted with, and we interact with all the top recruiters in India, Flipkart, Amazon, Microsoft, all of them. 70% believe that there is a skill gap at a company level which is negatively impacting them. But 51% also say that the youth is not employable. So there is a gap. But I believe only technology cannot solve it. Technology will always be an enabler, and that's where I think we just need to ensure that when we see these numbers, companies have shifted in their way of hiring the best students or the right candidates rather than from that segment of their, so to say, only the premier institutes or their tied up institutes, right? Few examples that I want to give you because this shift is more prominent in last 2 years. One was Walmart. I'm not sure if you have sort of heard about this example, but Walmart, when they, and global giant, right? When they were looking at entering India, they were looking at recruiting about 100 female coders. They were only able to recruit about 40 female coders from their direct campus connects, which were IITs and NITs, and then they opened their doors to every female coder in India. If you see that number, that's 95,395. So approximately 95,000 female coders from about 2,000 plus engineering colleges got an opportunity to be part of Walmart at a package of 25 lakhs. Right? Eventually, because everything was crystal clear, all the assessments were basically based on the skills that they will require on the job, which is the MCQ or maybe the coding assessments or so. They were able to crack down and hire 250 female coders only from one exercise. And these are the actual names and the colleges from where they hired. This is across Pan India. Many of them were from Telangana and colleges as well here, right? Similarly, Flipkart wanted to do the same exercise for all engineers. Mind you, their numbers, 4.7 lakh students registered in a matter of 4 weeks. Just for this campaign where Flipkart was recruiting in triple digits for the engineering audience, and again at a package of 30 lakhs or so. Why I'm saying the package as well as the numbers, because all these guys were predominantly only going to specific list of institutes and recruiting. So now it's an open door. Every person or every student who basically is able to showcase their skills, they probably would be hired. And they basically give the experience in terms of robotics, information health, right? Similarly, Amazon did it for MBAs. The other two were engineering. Accenture did it for UG students, which is arts, commerce, humanities. And on the other hand, Tata Sons did it for any student, any college, any discipline. If they perform well in this particular engagement, they will be taken in as a task manager, which is Tata Administrative Services, which is the premier most in any Tata Sons. I'm just giving you this example because this is diversity, right? Not only diversity in the name of the gender, but engineering, MBA, arts, commerce, humanities, irrespective. If you are good at what you do, you should not have dearth of any opportunity that comes your way, right? But many other companies have also fallen into this bracket, and why they're doing this, and this is very, very critical for you to understand, because for me, I think this is the whole life cycle for a student. We always talk about technology, 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 but technology can only do well if you have the whole life cycle sorted. It all starts, and somehow we fail to get in. We basically take up courses, we take up certifications because we want to do that, but nobody starts from that skill gap, which can be assessed through the role-based skill assessments. Then the courses come into the picture, and I'm sure all of you, your parents, and you will be telling your kids as well, practice, practice, and practice. I think right now the technology, and you will have many that you'll talk to today, they take up courses, they want to take up courses only for those certifications, but when we work with all these recruiters, right, where only 1% of them value the certificate in a resume, they value more than the certificate, the skill that you showcase in that exam that they are basically showing, right? And for that, you need to ensure that the first thing starts with skill assessments. Can your students across various domains, technical, non-technical, maybe management or so, can they go through and take up all those skill assessments to figure out where they are and what's the gap? Only then the second level comes into the picture, where they learn in terms of take up those courses which are self-paced courses on Unstop and maybe others, but it can be software, it can be management, it can be anything which are industry ready, right? And the third thing basically is the practice and mentorship. I'm segregating these two things. Practice is basically solving more and more questions. I'm sure you as academicians know the value of practice. Unfortunately, most of the courses out there, they only do the theoretical aspect, not the practical aspect, plus the practice, right? If you're a good coder, if you solve maybe 200 or 250 problems, you'll be on your path. But nobody talks about how many problems you need to solve or when or how you can solve it. So those can be done. Then students are clueless which path they want to follow, right? Whether they want to be at data science, product or so. Can they hop on a 30-minute call with industry practitioners? And that is what technology comes into the picture. We do about 100 or maybe triple digits call on a daily basis, where students can actually decide which industry practitioners they want to have, let's say 30 minutes call. They hop on and they basically close those calls themselves at night, at day, at a convenient time overall. And then obviously there will be jobs and internship, because once you do this, then all the jobs will be on the same platform itself, so that you apply. You have hiring challenges as well, which I've already showcased. And then eventually for the colleges, you have the placement tracking system, so that you know what your students are doing in terms of their skills, in terms of their learning, in terms of their practice, and what opportunities are they participating in, and finally they are recruiting. So in a nutshell, I believe, and having done this for 10 million plus students from 20,000 plus colleges in India, and we work with about 800 plus brands, this is the whole value chain where it gets integrated approach. And if technology cannot solve this integrated approach, nobody can, and we are here to solve that approach. Thank you so much, and I hope to interact with you at our booth and elsewhere. But thank you so much for calling us.